Yes. Hell yes.
Allow me.
God. Oh, my waifu! This is my girl. Oh. Yeah, this is so cool how well done this is. Oh, crossbow times special.
The crossbow times. What's something like this even doing here?
Oh no, you don't need to know those games to get Rixia's qualities.
I can't think of any other reason it would be here. It's the issue published just after the occupation, too. I doubt anyone would miss it if we took it.
God, this soundtrack is so... Alright, let's read. Let's do some reading. Special edition of Crossbell. Crossbell's new service. Autonomy is no more. 14th of January, 1205, Henry McDowell, Mayor of Crossbell. Ownership of Crossbell. Yeah. Damn, man. Now I'm like visioning Mayor McDowell crying. Oh, this is rough. I have never felt such shame. Ooh. Man, this hit me in the feels. Alright, in October 1204, then Mayor, Peter Croix. Yep. Know that. Yeah, we now remember that. That was Cold Steel 1. Yep. That was Kia. Yeah, okay, so in the ensuing chaos, Arabonia swept in. Man, there's totally gonna be a rebellion, like, underground resistance against the Arabonia. The Tangram Gate. I wonder if we're gonna see like Lloyd versus Reem. Man, this is... Oh, man, I'm hitting in the feels right now.
The advantage is ours. Prepare yourself.
Dude, it's even got the battle music! Oh. Oh, yes! Oh, yes. Oh, the one shot in this thing. Go.
Right. Take this. I'm still up for more.
Man, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
The advantage is ours. Allow me. Shatter! Now!
Gotcha!
I gotta see all these before we skip any of them.
You're off balance!
This is so...
Now's my chance!
You're done!
Right. My butterflies.
My
So
turn.
nice. That's right, Burning Heart. I like him.
Now!
Allow me. Allow now.
My turn. You're off the...
Allow me now. Right now.
Right.
Prepare your an opening. Come with me, boy.
Right.
I think they did buff it. I'm pretty certain they buffed it.
Right. Prepare.
My turn.
Right. An opening.
My turn.
Right. An opening. Right. An opening.
Here go.
Prepare.
My turn.
Right. Now.
Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
Not a bad team, are we?
I don't think I used Burning Heart a lot. Oh my god. Alright, so wait, I'm trying to remember E-Block. I'm trying to remember what E-Block is.
I won't.
Allow me.
I mean, let's just go ahead and do this.
Hold my hands. An illusory offering to the parting
Oh
souls.
my god.
Sleep, embraced by silver light. Rise!
Yes.
Finish now.
Yeah. For the dragon, yes.
Not a chance.
Allow me.
Love it, love it, love it.
Cut! Now!
Here goes.
Right!
Ooh, items. Yeah, I don't.
Thanks. Not a chance.
Allow me. Now!
Oh man.
Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
If you use it again on the turn he gets stunned, he just doesn't
Bad
get
team,
stunned.
are
That's so broken. Oh my god. I'm in love. I'm in love with this. Alright, where's refresh my memory. Where's E
was some
sector of the
fight.
Geofront?
This sector
Is
has been
this-
abandoned for quite some time.
Is this one
It's not
did we-
hard to imagine why so many powerful
Is this like a new
monsters
sector
live
that
in
we
there.
didn't see? I'm trying to remember.
What amazes me more is just how much these Arcus ornaments are capable of.
Oh, they've got Arcus as ornaments now.
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
they'll be a real asset to us in the future. They're so modern, they're practically still in testing over at the Empire.
How did they get them?
I miss the variety of arts I could use before, but in terms of balance, they're much more suited for combat than our NP2s.
That's just like a big shout out to, oh yeah, mechanics have changed since the game I was in.
Well,
Oh, that's-
Erebonia's always had the upper hand on military
That's
technology,
actually
if nothing else.
hilarious.
We should count ourselves lucky that Michelle got his hands on them for us.
Nice. My boy, Michel, the homie.
On that note, we should also count ourselves lucky for being able to utilize them so well. I don't think we've had a single problem linking up.
I admit, it's a strange feeling. It's as if we knew everything there was to know about one another, through and through. Almost as if our bodies became one.
Rixia, I wish our bodies could become one.
How, poetic. Sort of like how you perform with Elia on stage, right?
Here we go.
That's like being one. in a sense.
Yeah, if, you know...
Now that you mention it, you could put it that way, yes. At
Oh,
this
really,
point, however, I doubt I would even need one of these to match my movements to hers in battle.
Watching Rixia is all I need right now. I love it. Alright, so E-Sector again. I don't remember where E-Sector is.
So this is what the Geofront's E-Sector looks like. This one supposedly had its existence hidden from
Okay,
the
so maybe
general
we just
public,
never
didn't
went
it?
here. This is like
That's
a
what
new
Ellie
one.
said anyway. It was kept sealed off to keep everything inside strictly confidential. Corrupt
Why?
officials and Diet members used it to conceal any information they didn't want leaking out.
Well, that
She
would
did add
explain
that
it.
it wasn't its only use, though. Just one of them.
That's
I see.
scary.
Not the kind of place we can just leave as it is, then.
Yeah. We need to make our way through here, whatever it takes. Ready to give it everything we've got?
Of course.
Oh, man. Let's do it.
The abandoned... Prepare...
My turn!
Right.
My turn!
Right. Allow...
Right!
Prepare...
Here go! Alright, we're safe now.
That's not sure about the axe. Yeah, break through something. What's this way? Oh, okay, that goes down. There's a blue vent. I'm trying to get my bearings of this place. Big old bat.
Alright!
Allow me. Come. An opening.
My turn!
Allow me. Now.
Right!
Allow an opening.
Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha. This is a tight fit.
Heyo, that's what she said. Oh, come on, I thought it was in range.
Alright!
There.
Right. The battle's over, but we aren't safe.
I'll bring the ladder, sure. Oh, well, that's neat. That takes me back up. Oh, I see. I see.
Oh, found a chest.
This'll only take a moment. Right. This is
Ow.
nothing.
Thanks! Alright, we're safe now. Ha! Can't complain?
I still have plenty of training ahead of me.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Grail locket. Alright, perfect. find him. Interesting. So this is the map. Alright, what's this? Oh. Alright, that'll put us. Okay, so it's like a shortcut at this point. Oh, dang it. I was supposed to go put that ladder down. Puzzles in Mine Trails games? Another vent there. It's a chest. I'm going to go do that.
Oh, found a chest. All right.
Right.
My turn.
Allow an opening.
My turn! Now!
Okay. Right.
My turn! Now! Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
Not a bad team, are we?
I love Ixia.
What a nice treasure chest.
7 dragons armor. Oh, no. Guy there.
This duct really is narrow. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Liar.
I might not be able to see anything, but this is pure torture.
I imagine Lloyd's in the back where I want to be.
Oh, found a chest.
Bakuya. Man. So thirsty. Okay. This is a whole ass dungeon. It's like a whole ass dungeon. Upgrade. Did not want to select that.
Oh, the platform's been lowered.
There must be something to raise it nearby.
What's this? Okay, there's a platform over there too. This way. Nope, I can go this way.
Allow me.
Disagree, hold on.
Come.
My turn. You're off balance. Nice.
EP charge. Chest over here. Yo, archaism. I don't know the range on this thing.
The advantage is... Allow me. Come. The battle's over, but we aren't safe yet.
Their reports are not filled.
What a nice treasure chest.
Ooh, straight S. Okay. Lower the platforms? Jams are so jammy. Oh, I remember these guys.
I won't lose.
Allow me.
Heckin' mosquitoes. Dang it, yeah.
Prepare your... Let's keep moving.
That takes care of them. Hope I didn't end up dragging you down any.
There was never any chance of that.
Yeah, mosquitoes that large is absolutely
I
horrifying.
can't think of anyone else who could go through the things you did and come out stronger than ever.
Like having your brother murdered and
You should
finding
be
out a
more
lot of the
confident,
things you
Lloyd.
know is a lie.
There's no way I could have gone through it all alone, though. I've still got a ways to go as a detective, too. And when you think about all the obstacles we've got waiting for us, I'm nowhere near strong enough to handle it all.
So Lloyd, would you say you still have more barriers to get over?
I wouldn't say that.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I've got no confidence in my own abilities. I just think it's important to be able to give an honest assessment of your own strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to pure strength in combat, Randy and Noel clearly come out on top.
I don't know about that one.
With processing information, it's Tio, Yona, and Fran.
It would be Yona and not Jonah. Of course it would be Yona. Why did I not imagine it was a soft J as a Y?
And in terms
God
of
damn it.
negotiation tactics, I can't compare to Ellie or the Chief either. If we don't make good use of our respective
Yeah, Noel is
strengths,
not
we're
combat
not going
strong.
to be able to get through what's ahead.
And in my playthrough, Randy was strong, but Lloyd was the strongest. Lloyd was my damage
We
dealer.
might not all be able to stay in the same place anymore. We still need to be able to work together.
He's narratively very weak.
Oh, they've started keeping a watch on everyone then?
Yeah, I think Randy was the first one.
Of course Randy was the first one. He's a former Jaeger.
After that, Ellie and Noelle started being watched. If it weren't for Tio's help, Kia and I would probably be in trouble too.
Oh, I guys mentioning all the people. Kia.
Is Kia still with Arios and Shizuku?
Okay. Ario says Kia?
Yeah, Arios is looking after both of them.
Alright, okay. I mean, as long as Arius understands that he was kind of a dick.
They should be okay for the time being. But if the Imperial Army sets their eye on them, things could get nasty.
He's a divine blade of wind. He's gonna be fine.
It's okay. The reason we're here is to try and avoid coming to that. We best get moving. We've still likely got a ways to go.
True.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
go.
Everyone forgiving Arios. No big deal. It's not like, you know, he pretty much betrayed everybody's trust. He did what he quote-unquote thought was right. But, like, betrayed us pretty hard. Little ladder there. Get the chest. What do we got here? Round, put the switch over there, the chest over there. It's not used that quite yet, I think, right? Or do we have to? It looks like we may have to. No, I think that's because it around. Man, I remember these enemies.
Right!
Allow.
My turn! Now!
Allow.
Right! Now!
Prepare.
Now!
Allow. Now!
My turn! Alright, we're safe now.
Okay, so I have to go hit the other one that's lower in the platform. Oh, man. Okay. It did do that. So I was supposed to hit that one, I guess? Yeah, Noelle's like, no, not, I mean, I did not use Noelle. Even like my support role, I had Wazy there, for the most part. Okay. That's what I wanted to do, to get that chest.
Alright!
Right.
That's what I like about these games, though, is you can kind of build characters
goes.
any way you really want to.
Prepare yourself.
Here goes!
Allow. The battle's over, but we aren't safe yet.
Oh, found a chest.
Alright, you mean
Commencing
mosquitoes?
subjugation.
No, it's these guys. Okay.
Allow me. Come. Let's keep moving.
God, that's hot.
Can't complain.
I still have plenty.
There you Zeus gem. Can't like do anything in these slots here. Shoot, it has the speed, right? Yeah, so I want this one. I can't change. I have to unlock this. Or take something off. I guess I could take a Thellus off for it. Is that level? Yeah, no, I can use level 10. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, that's easy cut. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Build for boss fights. It's definitely kind of how I built things. For the most part. When I'm not Earthwall cheesing. Or I'm not TO cheesing. Or I'm not just trying to status ailment everything. Like, status ailment everything is kind of my build for Lara. It's just strength and status ailments. That's actually pretty much my build for everybody in this game that's a melee attacker. Like, Green, Fee, and Lara were just like, oh, you guys, yeah, you guys can just go ahead and have every status ailment that you can cast, that you can do. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much dead. Oh, okay, this is open. On a big, oh man, one of these guys.
This will only take a moment. Allow me. Prepare yourself.
Thanks!
Prepare yourself.
Thanks! Right. Now! Come on!
Right.
Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
Nice.
All right. Is something wrong?
I just have a bad feeling about something.
I don't like that.
I'm sorry. It's probably just my imagination.
So you say, but those bad feelings of yours usually pan out to be accurate.
Yeah, they do.
I've had my life saved by them enough times to know that. If it weren't for you, I'd have probably died on one of those landmines. Or been hit by that sniper.
Yo, that sniper. Red Constellation sniper.
I'd forgotten all about those. I have much less of an idea what the cause of this one could be, though. I only have a general, vague sense that something dangerous is drawing near.
Could it be that skilled warrior Sal mentioned earlier?
It might be.
Sal? Sal? How did you get Sal from CAO? That's Cal. I'm sorry, I'm calling him Cal. He's Cal.
If all we were dealing
He's
with
got
was a
the
skilled
beef.
warrior, I'm sure I'd be able to take care of them. This, though, whatever it is, it feels
Oh, it's
far
gonna
beyond
be
my
Reen.
capabilities.
It's gonna be Reen, and it's gonna be the Ashen Knight,
I'm probably
and we're not gonna be able to
much
win.
sense, am I?
No, it's okay. Even the warning alone is appreciated.
Or we're gonna have to fight a
She
Soldat or
knows how to keep her
something.
cool in the crisis better than anyone I know. What we're up against has even her on edge. I need to work on kicking my instincts up a notch or two. At least so they're as good as guys.
Man, rip guy.
Well, according to the data Tio gave us, we should be over halfway through by now. Let's just stay alert. If we don't know what we're up against, all we can do is try and be prepared for anything.
Agreed.
go back and heal. Oh man, this is just like I'm still in like feel good right now. I still feel good from all this crazy bullshit that we're playing as Rixia and Lloyd. Oh. Okay, just kept going straight. Let's see. Beautiful. Alright, what's gonna happen here? Oh my goodness.
Oh, an elevator. Our destination must be down below.
Yeah, let's try and unlock it.
Well, I see that. Alright. This map is a little hard to read. But I'll get the hang of it.
We're in a good place.
Right.
Here goes. Now.
Prepare yourself.
My turn.
Prepare yourself. Right.
Carrier bomb's nice to have at the moment. Might. No, okay. Topography is hard. I'm trying to read the map. It can be difficult sometimes.
What a nice treasure chest.
Pentagon. Uh-oh. Pentagram-shaped cross-section. She's got a blade that dispels evil, while Lloyd has a pentagram. Huh.
The advantage. Right.
Here goes.
Right. Let's keep.
Okay, so that's what that is.
This is a tight fit.
Think you want to take that ladder up?
Oh, found a check.
This will only take a moment.
Oh, these guys.
Here goes.
Allow me. Shatter! Now!
Not a chance.
Prepare yourself. Shatter! An opening!
Right.
Alright.
But we aren't safe yet.
What do we got from that? Zerum capsule and an evade 2. Oh, mine 3 as well. Okay, we'll put that there. This switch. Oh, there's another giant mosquito over there. Okay.
The advantage is ours, right? Come!
Right.
Right! You're running into foes at every turn. Prepare.
Right.
Right!
Right.
Allow.
Here go. I'm still up for more.
He's still up for more. Fight the giant mosquito, probably.
Oh, found a chest.
Heavenly. A clear robe that's light as air. Nice.
Be wary of that monster.
We unlocked the first one.
That's the first lock done.
Okay. Wait, oh, what? Okay, it's okay. I get it. Switch this back. Should get us at. Right? Yeah. Now, this one doesn't look as complicated, maybe? I don't know. Topography is hard. I'm just saying that.
Bring it on.
Prepare yourself. Come! Now! There! Now!
My turn. You're off now.
Right! Prepare yourself. Come! Let's keep moving.
Not too shabby.
I still have...
Alright. Where's the ladder? Over
Be wary of that monster.
there. The ladder stairs. What? Oh, dust. That's why.
This is a tight fit.
On that catwalk.
Oh, found a chest.
The advantage... Right!
Right.
Right!
Right.
Right.
Right! Now! What a nice treasure chest!
Right. Stregators. Will be men's striggers, I assume, then? Police mob. Okay. Now go this way. No, that's wrong.
That's 2 locks done. Let's head back to the elevator.
No, that's wrong.
Be wary of that monster. This'll allow me.
I did not see him there.
Come
What did I just run into?
now.
All right, we're safe now.
What did I just pick up? Oh, and P1. Alright. Going down. How far down? Nobody knows. Oh, Neo6 apparently. And that's not a good sign. Alright, that's gonna be a boss down
Lloyd,
there.
I think we're here.
Yeah, we finally reached the end.
Oh. Interesting. Central Terminal Room, E sector.
Oh my. This facility would be the center of Crossbell's orbital network.
Are we gonna
yes?
shut down the orbital network?
In a way, the overall structure is far too complex for this to unambiguously be its center, but it's a good chunk. Either way, if the Imperial Army took it over, they'd have
Are we
instant
gonna be
access to all
Hackermans
info
right
related
now?
to us on the net.
We're gonna Hacker Man. I'm
Every
in.
Crossbell citizen's personal data, records on our financial transactions, even the layout of the whole geofront.
That's a lot of data you don't want them
If we
having.
want to have any hope of a future, we can't allow that to happen.
I agree. Why not just destroy the facility itself, though?
We could, I guess. But from what I can gather, it could still prove useful to us once the net's safely back in our hands. So the plan is to leave the hardware itself intact, but wipe any and all personal data the Army could take advantage of.
And that's where that initialization unit Teal made comes in, right?
Right. Roberts and Yona were the ones who actually
Yo,
designed it.
Roberts.
They wrote the program for it from scratch, too. And that makes things easy on our end. Once we boot up the computer, it'll create a backup of everything we need before wiping it clean.
Initialization. Confirming connection to terminal ceiling. The unit will commence backing up all data, initializing the system, followed by performing...
They had to give it a robot. They had to give it a voice, right?
Are you certain you wish to continue?
Right.
Commencing all...
This will take a while. I like how it says Epstein Foundation up there.
Nicely done, Lloyd.
It's funny. Ordinarily, this kind of work would take hours. But this unit will let us get in and out in 10 minutes flat. These two never
Yeah.
cease to amaze, do they?
Roberts and Yona? They certainly are impressive. In the meantime, let's secure the area.
Stop where you are.
Fuck, we're gonna have to fight Reed. Reen, you don't want to do this. Reen, you don't want to do this.
I didn't sense anyone coming.
Reen, you don't want to do this.
Targets I presume these must be Lloyd Bannings and Rishia Mao, respectively.
They
Lloyd.
know our names. Hold
What are you
on.
doing, Lloyd?
Isn't that Itachi? Like the one Arios uses.
I'm nowhere near as proficient with one as he is, though. But we should be able to handle the two of you at least.
I mean, come on, we beat up Arios. Sure, we had our friends, but we still beat them up. We're actually gonna fight Reen in the epilogue. Reen's the bad guy
Plum
now.
Solace.
Man.
The hell?
A black puppet?
Sorry, but we've got our orders. We can't let you finish what you came here for.
I'm afraid we can't let you stop us either.
We won't let you past.
Confirming activation of combat link.
It looks like more Arcus units ended up leaking out than I thought. We should form one too, then.
Understood. Activating Arcus.
Man, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. I
There
don't
shouldn't be
feel
any
good
need to
about
neutralize
this.
them. Our goal is to buy enough time for the
Like, I don't
initialization
feel good
process to
about
finish
this at
running.
all.
Let's do this, Risha!
Right.
And we can't afford to give them that time, Altina.
Understood. Commencing assault.
I
We're
require
actually
your
fighting
support
against.
me.
Okay,
Right.
this is.
Let's get this over with.
Allow me.
He sounds so soulless. Oh man, Green, what has happened to you since finding out that you're a bastard child?
Moonlight butterflies.
Nice, put his ass
My
to
turn.
sleep.
Arcus! Yeah.
Allow me. Shatter! An opening!
Gotcha!
Right. Now!
Overdrive! Here goes!
Right.
Right.
Allow me. Come.
There!
Nice, I forgot I had
Leon.
guard up.
Prepare yourself.
Overdrive! Here goes!
Oh, she's not in range.
Prepare yourself.
Right. Arcus, active.
Thank you very much.
Rihanna.
Right.
No, I'm not gonna risk that. Not even gonna bother risking that.
right. Ah! Now! Come with me!
Not a chance. Right.
Alright, did I get lucky? Did I get lucky? Did I not see a single S-Craft? Could they have S-Craft? They could have.
Alright. We're safe
I got
now.
lucky, didn't I? Oh, it's just an easy fight? Okay.
I'm
Well, it
surprised.
doesn't have to be hard.
I knew full well Risha would pose a threat, but I wasn't expecting half as much from a simple detective.
Simple to... Bitch, who the fuck you think you
You
are?
say it runs in the family. I'm just as impressed by how proficient you are with that blade, given your age.
I've still got a long way to go, honestly. I won't be worthy of being called a divine blade anytime soon.
Rean, time is running short. I think it's time you stopped holding back.
Yeah, here we go.
I suppose you're right.
What?
Use your energy, use your thing. Yeah, here we go. God damn it.
What's he doing?
Such
Negative energy.
Initialization. Rebooting
Alright,
all
get out.
systems in an initialized state.
We did it!
Yeah.
What should we do?
Captain Lecter gave us 2 orders. One was to prevent the initialization. The other was only to be completed in the event we couldn't.
Captain Lecter!
It couldn't be the same Lecter from the Imperial Army's intelligence
God damn it,
division,
Lecter.
right?
Heed my call!
Come on, really?
The Ashen Knight!
Really? Oh. Well,
An ion. No, it isn't.
it's not an ion. It looks kind of like an ion, but it's not an ion. God damn it.
Wait, no!
Well, there goes the orbital net.
Lloyd!
We can at least get the data out of here.
We'll split our losses this time. Arrest warrants haven't been issued for either of you yet. So go.
Damn it.
Man.
Just tell me one thing, as I'm sure you already know. My name is Lloyd Bannings, and I'm a police detective with the Crossbell State Police Department. What's your name?
I'm with Thor's Military Academy, Class 6. No. I'm a provisional military officer with the Crossbell government. Rean Schwarzer.
Man, he just straight up bailed out of Class 7. He has entered into despair. He is the bad guy now. We have to get his redemption arc now, right? Because, like, he just pretty much got told, Gilead is like, I'm your daddy. He's just like, and now, for all I know, he's just kind of a bitch.
Yes, this is Schwarzer speaking.
Hey.
Nothing good about it, I'm afraid. I couldn't prevent them from erasing all the data.
It's not the end of the world. They've still got plenty of other options. They're not the type to give up easily, but it'll set them back in the meantime.
Is that so, Captain? You must know them fairly well.
I guess you could say that. They're no pushovers. They've had the odds stacked against them in more ways than I can count. But they've come out the other side every time.
I'm so sorry I couldn't do anything. I had a feeling something was going to happen. But I was powerless when it really did.
Don't feel bad. There was no way we could have seen that coming, especially that night. It was kind of like an ion, but at the same time it wasn't. Or like the archaisms, for that matter. He called it the Ashen Knight, didn't he?
He did. Its power was out of this world. Do you think that was one of the Imperial Army?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it shares some similarities with their soldats. I don't know. Feels like there's more to it than that. And its pilot was anything but normal. Well, let's put it out of our minds for now. We stopped that data from falling into the Army's hands. Wasn't our smoothest operation. I'd still call it a success. I'm sure Tio, Yona, and Roberts can make do even without those terminals. You can always count on Ellie, Randy, Noel, the Chief, and Dudley too.
Even Dudley! My dude, Dudley.
Even Kia, Ario, Swazi, and Zeit will help us.
Yo, dude, I'm just name dropping everybody in Crossbell.
There are still many barriers left between us and our goals. But we can get over them. So long as we're together.
Dude, this feels like such a payoff right now.
Right.
This feels like a huge payoff. It's really absurd, but it's good. It's just a big fan. It's just a fan.
You heading back there?
It's just like a love letter to the people who did play Crossbell before this.
That's the plan. I'll
Which would
return
make
with
sense
Valmar
if you were in
and train this
Japan and you
afternoon.
did play them in that order.
Well, if that's what you want to do. I was just wondering if you wanted to go back on the Eisengraph together instead. You two haven't spoken since, right?
Excuse me.
He's abandoned Elise.
This is where we part ways then.
He has abandoned his sister. He has not talked to her.
I look forward to any
Since that
collaborative
moment.
efforts we may have in the future.
Yeah. Oh, right. Do you have anything you want me to pass on to Milliam?
Not especially. We may technically be sisters, but I am simply a tool. I feel no particular familial bond with her.
Man.
I imagine that deep down, she feels the same way.
Was he talking about Osborne? Oh, that's true. Maybe he was talking about Osborne. At this point with Reen, though, I'm pretty sure he's just like, doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, but no. Forget it.
He still had
Take
pets,
care,
though.
Okay? I don't doubt you're going to be sent on plenty of dangerous missions in the days to come.
Understood? Is something wrong?
Reen is just filled with turmoil inside.
Not really. I'm just kind of jealous of them, I guess.
I'm just like inferring that like it feels like Reen feels shackled at the moment. March 9th, 1205. Alright, so that wasn't even the epilogue. That was like a mini intermission before the epilogue. It was a divertisement, whatever you pronounce that. That was still cool as hell. That was still cool as hell. I loved all of that. Yeah, it's a lore dropping fan service, and I am fine with that. The Crusader. Man, even Valimar is draped like a Gundam being transported. Back to Trista. Doesn't look like there's a lot of people.
Sorry about that, Valimar. Can't imagine it was a very pleasant trip for you, all bound up like that.
It did not present a problem. I will now enter an inactive state and allow the mechanics to perform maintenance.
Thanks. Well then.
Sure thing.
By the way, it's a real...
Welcome back, Reen. You must be exhausted.
Claire?
Not really.
Claire.
Everything went off without a hitch, mostly thanks to Valimar's power.
Man, I can just feel
Not to
the
mention the planning of
animosity.
your people.
I can just feel the animosity and the teen angst he has in his voice. It's so angsty.
You're annoyed, I take it, by the way we do things.
Not really. Regardless of the means, the war coming to a swift end was a good thing for everyone. As for what happened to Crossbell, I'm not in any position to talk. No, those aren't what bother me. I can buy that you had no idea Rufus was an Ironblood, but did you really not know about my real father?
didn't have any
Damn,
hard evidence.
the look away.
But I did suspect that might be the
The
case.
look away. What's up, Graymond?
You just seemed somehow similar. The air about you, your facial features. I was always puzzled by how fascinated he was by your class as well.
I see. Excuse.
Right.
Yeah, it's no use, Claire. He's going through shit.
That wasn't the only reason I worried about you, you know. Not that I could possibly tell him that.
Hi, I'm your real father. Also, you're a pawn and a tool in my war. That's all you kind of are to me. Man, dude, hold up. I just put 2 and 2 together even more. This isn't Gundam. This really isn't Gundam anymore. It's Evangelion. This is Evangelion. Our dad is Gendo Ikari. Holy shit. God damn it. Listen, Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time, so... Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time. It's always gonna be... It holds a special place in my heart. So I'm fine making this comparison.
Behaving like such a child.
He's kind of got a bit of a Shinji thing going on right here. He's like one line away of, I don't want to pilot the robot, away from being Shinji.
It's hard to believe it's been a whole month since I was here last. Guess it didn't snow after all.
Ellie, listen. Evangelion goes into very weird places. Evangelion was also written by a very depressed person. Hideki Anno was extremely depressed when he wrote Evangelion, and you can tell. He poured a lot of his depression into that work. Which is why it's not at all ever a happy anime. It is always depressing and sad. Also, that was end of Evangelion. That wasn't original Evangelion either. That was the end of Evangelion.
It's not like the excitement
Like
of
they
that
did
day
that
has faded
whole
away or anything.
Weird Shinji over Asuka's comatose corpse.
So why?
And a reminder that I think before that he tried choking her to death and then
Why do
did
I feel
that.
so cold? Huh?
Evangelion's wild.
Oh, Lino flowers.
Welcome back, Lynn.
Definitely a stare at that anime. Alright. Are you gonna be nice to your friends, or are you gonna be a dick to them?
Welcome back. What are you doing standing there?
It's not like you to wallow in nostalgia. Did the flowers get to you?
You all came to see me.
They started budding just yesterday.
Should be in full bloom in about a week.
Guess some of them couldn't wait.
I guess not. It's good to be back, you guys.
Agreed. We're all so happy to see you again.
You must be wiped out after all you did, though.
I'm fine, actually. It really wasn't that tough. Still, did all of you really come out here just to welcome me back?
Congratulations, Reen.
Why wouldn't we?
It's not like we second years have any lessons to worry about this time of year.
Besides, I already had to come out here because of Valimar, so I figured I might as well say hi to you too.
Technically, the first years are supposed to be in class right now, but I turned it into a self-study period instead. And that was only possible because everyone's favorite captain told us exactly when you'd be arriving.
It's nice to see you here too, Celine.
Well, don't think I went out of my way to be here or anything. But given the way that you were acting when you left, I was a little worried about you. I mean, I wasn't.
Celine showing a little emotion of worry.
Still, thanks everyone.
So what now? Going back to your dorm for some well-earned rest?
We can carry your stuff for you if you want.
No, I'm fine. You said that class is in session right now, right? I'm a student, so I might as well attend. I mean, I have been absent for a month now.
Wow,
absent for a
no
month.
fun at all. I was hoping we could skip the whole class thing and get to the welcome back party.
I like that idea. Come on, it's party time!
Am I the only one who cares about studying at this school?
Yes. Yes, you are, and that's why you get dumpstered. Fucking nerd.
Well, maybe we can hold the party tonight instead.
In that case, we should probably head back to the academy.
Aw, man, we got Toe with us. Let's go.
Oreen? By the way, welcome back.
Thanks, Toa. I'm happy to be back.
Yo. Good girl, Toa. Winter's End.
I'll never forget those days. The final weeks we spent together as a class are like dazzling jewels forever etched into my memories.
The final weeks we spent together as a class. They don't get to do second year?
I cherished every last moment.
They only were 1 year?
I never wanted it to come to an end. But time stops for no one. The minutes and hours kept passing, and our days together were slowly coming to a close. After what happened, Balflame Palace soon returned to its original form. It was almost as if everything that took place there was some sort of dream. People's memories of that day started becoming vague. Many were convinced it was some kind of collective hallucination.
People are wild.
That may have been in part a result of the chaotic days that followed, brought about by the Chancellor and Rufus. After the war, the entire country feared that Calvard would invade Crossbell and try to take it for its own. Using that to his advantage, Rufus quickly convinced the nobility to support him, pledged to cooperate with the Chancellor, and in January 1205, the combined forces of both Imperial and Provincial armies invaded Crossbell. Crossbell no longer possessed the weapon of mass destruction that had annihilated Gorelia Fortress. Thanks to that, the city was occupied in a mere day, with no blood shed. Calvard was quick to react, sending countless airships. However, between Rufus's leadership and the combined might of the tanks and soldats under his command, they were quickly repelled.
Jeez.
As for me, Chancellor Osborne's words became the reality. Valimar and I were heralded as those responsible for Heimdall's liberation. And as the purported hero to the nation, I'd received and accepted a request in February to back up our forces in Crossbell. It was there that I found myself suddenly leading numerous soldats and fighting off the Republican army. Before I knew it, everyone around me was referring to me as the Ashen Chevalier.
You live long, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. He never wanted to be the Ashen Chevalier, and it happened anyway.
Time kept flowing, and mid-March came. The month in which Class 7 would finally say their goodbyes.
I'm trying to figure out how this school works. Aren't there, like, second years and first years? Like, what? They've only been there for 1 year, right?
History review right up to the dawn of the modern era.
So don't they have another year of school still? Or is he, like, talking about, like, oh, this is Class 7's, like, end of their first year, before we say goodbye until the next school year?
Next week, we'll be covering the 50-year period
So
from
I'm
the
kinda
Orbital
confused.
Revolution up to the present day. We're blowing through this material a lot more quickly than I would otherwise, so try to keep up with your reading. Oh, and Emma and Machias, if you see anyone struggling, try to help them out, okay?
See?
I fully intend to.
Leave it to us. I've got plenty of good reference books on the subject.
That would be very helpful, actually.
Sounds like a pain. Oh well.
I do happen to have a few gaps in my knowledge of the Revolution.
I should be able to help out with the technological side of things if you guys need it. I'm guessing we're gonna run into that Schmidt guy's name a lot too.
Well, he was one of the 3 leading disciples of Professor Epstein, so yeah.
Three leading disciples of Jefferson. Alright, so Schmidt at the Reinford Company. Russell? At ZCF, maybe? I'm gonna assume, not Russell, is it Russell? Yeah. I'm assuming Professor Russell is one of the other disciples.
It'll feel strange seeing his name in textbooks.
And I don't know who the third disciple is. Maybe?
Yeah. It's kind of amazing to think we were able to meet him, though.
It's not Roberts. Math. I hate math. I'm so bad at math.
All right. Like I said, which means it'll cover quadratic functions, factorizations, sets, logic, and probability.
Okay, I was good at probability in high school.
Oh, and if I'm feeling really mean, there might be a little calculus in there.
Jesus.
So, study for this one.
I'm getting. Sounds more like he's reciting.
It is all material we've covered in class before, you know.
It'll be worth going over the most.
I hate math. Yo, tell this guy that you met Rixia.
That sums up this lecture on the structure of the stock market in
Yo,
Erebonia.
we met your waifu.
Next week, we will hurry on and study unemployment and inflation problems. You're also going to be taking part in a debate on those issues.
Dude, I barely
So
made
make
it
sure
past
each of you
Algebra
are
2.
well prepared.
Okay, I'm bad at math.
What
Math
kind
does
of debate?
not work in my brain.
A debate. It's when people are divided.
The most math I can tell you is
After much
breaking down
consideration,
iambic
I've decided we
pentameter
will
and
use
civil
our
and
remaining
like
time to listen to and enjoy music from
like
all
different
manner of
poetry
genres.
and different sonnets.
From famous classics
That's
to
my
popular
math.
modern music, I've gathered records of all kinds for you to enjoy. I even managed to borrow music from a hot new genre like heaving metal, I believe it's called.
Oh
I wonder what that
God.
sounds like.
Heaving metal. I think any school subject, it all comes down to the person who's learning.
Nice work, guys.
Some people just can have a better grasp naturally of different things. Some people just naturally can grasp math. I am not one of those people. I don't think anybody can I don't think just anybody can
Feels like all your other instructors
fully
are
learn
dead set
all
on
math.
cramming your brains with as much material as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I want to crawl into a hole
And that's the thing, is like
die.
literature, that's my thing. Because my brain easily can understand and break down words and
You said it.
I find it interesting diving into
Still,
into those
this is
subjects.
exactly
into
how we wanted it.
how art and form work in poetry. How
Right.
inflections of
You're doing it
voice
for our
can
sake, so
change
I don't mind it so
meanings
much.
of words.
There's no way we could cover everything in class, so it's sweet of them to give us the bullet points while they still
I
can.
mean, I got by on my basic intellect, right? So I slept in
It's
school.
paying off for us in the long run, yeah, so we owe them a lot.
Forcing you to try and keep up with us is a little unfair of us, though.
I don't know, that's where I come in. Like, it's interesting when you like look at things from a science aspect, like a math aspect, and a literature or art aspect, where like the whole idea of like sciences and math and stuff like that is
Do all of
that
this again next year.
like certain things
Are you sure you're
are
fine with this
absolute,
arrangement?
you know, or we have like the rules and
course.
laws of physics.
This is to my
That's how it
benefit,
works.
too. If
But
I
in
get all
English
this
and
crammed
literature,
into my
I
head
can
now,
argue
maybe I can
pretty
even
much
come out on
almost
top on
anything,
next year's
as long as I
midterms.
have the evidence to back it up. But
Well,
I can bend an argument.
That's some confidence.
It's not set in stone, and that's where
I
I
wouldn't be surprised
enjoy.
if you actually did it.
Like that's
though.
where I enjoy literature.
He did pretty well in the midterms this year, too.
Then you get into like
remember?
literary and academic theory, and that gets wild. Literary
Probably
theory.
just being too optimistic.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Guess we'll know for sure next year.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can back it up, you can make anything up. As long as you provide the evidence and form a strong argument, yeah.
Anyway,
It's great.
Tomorrow's the day you've all been waiting for. Your next free day. I know you've got enough schoolwork to choke a horse, but try to carve out a little time for your clubs and all that youthful jazz.
Okay, what's up, KFC?
The forecast for tomorrow is clear blue skies. Might be the perfect chance to sneak off and get into some ooh la la with that special someone.
And truly, you teach
I
us all
had,
by living your life as a shining counter.
Mind you, I have a degree in English literature, so
spoken like a true
I
lifetime
took-
member of the Lonely Hearts Club, instructor.
I took the same hard-ass professor, and I say hard-ass, but like I actually like the guy, but I took him for like 5 courses, and he honestly made me a better writer. He made me like he helped me become a better academic
of
student.
guys who would do anything for a private lesson with yours truly.
But if that many men are interested in you, how can you spend so much time drinking?
I think the polite thing to do here is just...
If you keep setting your sights on guys like Laura's dad, you might as well just buy a couple cats and get it over with.
It does seem like she's fighting an uphill battle to find a good match.
Just you wait, guys. In 2 weeks, when you
Man,
see the
Sarah
whole
got
of the
destroyed.
chiseled, elegant gents draped over me, we'll see who has
Whoa. Whoa. Hordes of chiseled, elegant gents draped over Sarah. Is Sarah going to the orgy? Where's the orgy at? Erebonians, go wild.
Time really does fly. It's hard to believe our last free day is tomorrow.
Yeah, it felt like we still had more time.
For me, it feels like it's been ages since I last had one.
I suppose it would.
Were you able to rest up?
Not really. It was basically work, work, work the whole time. I did get taken into Crossbell City during what time off I did have, but I can't say I felt very comfortable there.
Man,
sure.
Crossbell City's great. Come on.
Indeed. That must have been more painful than anything.
To the people of Crossbell, we Erebonians are aggressors.
That's true.
I can hardly imagine they would welcome us
Eustace
with
has a
open arms.
point.
That doesn't sound like it'd stop Lecter from living it up over there, though.
It doesn't.
He did take me to a casino
Yo,
once,
the
actually.
casino!
He won so much, he might as well have been cheating.
Shocking. It always feels like people who like gambling really like it, huh?
That's rough.
So, does anyone have anything planned for our free day? Remember, it's the very last one, so make it count. We wouldn't want
Toa.
to end the day with any regrets.
Toa.
True enough. Although, I wonder if I'd end the day regretting that it has to end in the first place if we made it too much fun.
I've got
People
so
who
much that I
gamble
want to
must
do, I'm
love
not sure where to start.
gambling. They're
I know I
dead.
want to attend practice, at least. Oh, same. I've got to go taste test some new dishes for the cooking club. Plus, Kershus has a new menu up, and...
How many stomachs do you have?
Will you be
4.
helping the student council tomorrow, Reen?
That's the plan. It sounds like Toa will finish handing all her work over to the others today, so I thought it'd be nice to take some of it off their hands.
We're gonna hang out with
Ever the
Toa.
reliable gopher.
if there's anything we can...
Well, I guess I could go straight to the student council room, but it's my first time back in over a month. Maybe I should go and see how...
That is a screenshot.
I do need to
Because
get to
on
the
one
student
hand it
council
looks
room,
like
though.
she's just head patting Reen, but the other way it looks like he's like motorboating her. Alright. Traveling clothes. Oh, so we have our school outfit back. Alright, we have to just wear the unspeakables for the rest of this. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. It has to happen. Go back at the school. Man, all my stuff got taken off. Oh, the Thor's armband. Okay, that's cool. What's it? Sorry, this is one. Yeah. Listen, I have to make Gaius look like a badass. Okay, I can't wear this anymore. This thing is so bad. I do really like the traveling clothes, honestly. Where is our fishing friend? Well, he's not fishing. Can we fish?
This spot looks perfect for fishing.
We can still fish, dude. Last fishing.
Not what I had in mind.
We gotta fish one last time, you know, for the fans.
Not what I had in mind. Not what I had in mind.
I don't think it's what he had in mind. As he says it for the third time.
Not what I had in mind.
What do you have in mind?
Not what I had in mind.
6, 6, 6. We're ending it on that many points for fishing. That's not creepy. Let's go see Valimar.
Oh.
Hey there, Rain.
You took my Toa paint off the bike. What the hell?
Looks like someone's done with class for the day.
Can you believe it? Angelica took Toa off of the bike.
Wait, is that?
Yep.
We started building it for you, but then we had a change of heart.
Ah, it's not my bike. Never mind.
I just couldn't tear you away from your current ride after you'd grown so attached.
Now I feel bad, considering I pretty much did just that to you. Your new one's got a pretty cool design, though.
Don't get too jealous. Specs are pretty much the same as yours. Well, before Angie tunes it up and adds her custom gear for distance riding, that is.
Distance
What
riding.
Distance riding would mean.
She's going on an adventure.
You're planning on going off on some big journey, aren't you?
Of course she is.
10 points to Rain. I just felt like it was time for me to go out and see the world for myself. My martial arts teacher did the same thing once, so I'm sure it'll be a valuable experience for me.
Is her martial arts teacher Zin or something?
The plan for now is to travel through the entirety of Zemuria.
That's not a very specific plan.
It's a lot of places.
A pretty sizable journey.
This feels like code for, like, Angelica will show up in future games, for sure.
You can say that again. I have no idea where she finds the energy.
This feels like when they eventually get to Calvard, Angelica will show up for sure.
Oh, really now? Your plan to visit the continent's most famous engineering factories is pretty much exactly the same thing.
There's not that many famous engineering factories, is there?
You really think so?
CCF, Epstein Foundation.
I take it you'll be leaving Erebonia for a while too, George?
I don't know what else there are.
Seems
I don't know
that
anything
way.
about Calvard.
First stop's the Burl and ZCF.
Okay, yeah,
Always
there we
wanted
go.
to see it. After that, I got my heart set on a trip to the
That-
Epstein
okay,
Foundation.
another
in
one I
Vermont
just
State.
said.
Well, I'm at it. I think it'd be nice to pay a visit.
Oh,
to the
that's right,
Vern family in
Vern.
Calvard,
That's who's in
too.
Calvard. I forgot Vern.
Will you even be able to get into Calvard at this point?
Hey, I didn't say it'd be easy, but I think I can pull some strings. The real reason for this trip is to figure out what I can do as an engineer to help smooth over our international relations. Meeting the continent's finest engineers and discussing things with them should really help get the ball rolling on that.
You've thought that far ahead.
Damn, George is prepared.
That's really admirable. I hope you can find a way to make that happen. Even though I feel kind of hypocritical saying that, as someone who participated in the war.
Don't beat yourself up over it, Reen.
You have nothing to be. That was your only option, given the way the Chancellor set things up. Your actions actually helped us avoid an even longer, more brutal war.
But
Angie's right. You played a role that no one else could have. Just think. If things kept going the way they were going, we could have been at war with all of Crossbell. I don't even want to imagine the number of lives that would have been lost if you hadn't stepped in the way you did.
Of course, us telling you whether or not you should feel guilty doesn't matter. It all comes down to you facing your own feelings over what you did. But there's one thing we'd like you to remember as you do. You're not alone, Reen. You've got friends who understand why you did what you did.
sometimes I wonder how I was lucky enough to get such good ones. Thanks, you guys.
Don't mention it. On a completely spared no expense, Mick.
I think I will, but not to discredit your coziness efforts or...
Maybe I'll check in on him in a bit too.
Nice. And you get in the robot. Dang, I'm not gonna come close to 1 million. 500,000. Sold that storage building. Okay. Night/sold that storage area.
Hey, Valimar. How you holding up?
Relatively comfortably. My ability to self-repair means that maintenance is not mandatory, but I expect it will increase my operating efficiency.
Glad to hear it. This is going to be our new home base for the time being, so you can get in as much maintenance as you need. I'm gonna need you a lot in the days ahead, Valimar.
I will strive to meet your expectations. Not as I thought I sensed something unusual.
Uh-oh.
But it must have been my imagination.
That's not good. That's not a good sign.
You really are getting to be scarily human these days, you know?
That's not a good sign.
What was it you sensed, though? A person?
I am unsure. It may have simply been a fluctuation of human faith levels.
No. Valimar's setting the seeds for something bad to happen in this finale. I know better. Something real bad's gonna happen.
Similar fluctuations are hardly abnormal.
Well, if you don't think it's anything worth worrying about, I'll try and put
It's
it out of my
gonna
mind.
be like McBurn or something. He's gonna burn the whole school down.
If you sense anything strange in the future, though, let me know, okay? You can tell me telepathically was the word, right?
Indeed. I shall use it to inform you should I sense anything is amiss.
I don't like it. No, don't. No, he said things. He said things. I can't not unhear those things anymore. I was hoping I could go shopping. Oh, the library. That's a place I should go to. Oh, these are all still just here. Oh, that's cool. It's all the, it's like all the Imperial Chronicles from the last game. It seems. So she's in the way of me checking that. Well, that's cool. Alright, student union. Just for the heck of it. If something's gonna happen, we have to fight. I would like to be prepared, just in case. Alright, let's look at the newspaper. How many missions did I miss? I missed 7. No, I missed 7 and 9. Gamble Jack. And I missed a lot of Jack too. Man, this is some real hardcore propaganda. There wasn't a frown to be seen in Crossbell City today, with its citizens unanimously overjoyed to be incorporated. Man, that is some bullshit. Wow, what a shock, that economic turnaround. You know, the annexation of Crossbell and the IBC, the International Bank. I wonder your economy's doing well. Oh, Rena's now 18? I thought he was younger than that. Ragnar, High Arms, and Alvaray, okay. Interesting. Alright, let's go see our Galtoa. Aww. Poor Toa. So who has the Courageous now? I'm assuming Oliver has it. I'm assuming Oliver took back the Courageous.
No wonder she fell asleep. She must have been really busy getting everything sorted out for the spring.
We still don't know who won the fight between Arseed and McBurn. I'm assuming it was a draw.
Makes me remember finding her like this over in the computer room.
Yeah, and you stared at her while she slept, you creep.
Oh, right. I probably shouldn't look too much or she'll get mad when she wakes up.
Angie, George, Crow. What are you doing in my room?
Oh, Toa.
Wait, this is the student council room. I must have fallen asleep.
Sorry for coming in without permission.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault for dozing off like this.
Creeper-rena's creeper.
Why do you always have to keep
Serial
finding
head
me
patter.
like that? I hope you weren't looking at me while I was sleeping again.
I did try to look as little as possible.
Well, if you say so. Is something the matter? You're not looking too well.
No, maybe the light streaming in through the window is making me look off color. I feel fine, really.
Don't lie, Reem. Don't lie to her.
Come with me.
What's this all about?
I know that you're a boy and all, and I do think that you've grown a lot during your year here. No, I probably shouldn't even call you a boy anymore. You're a grown man now, but that doesn't mean you always have to stand and endure everything life throws your way.
Man, this is such a pure scene.
If it gets too much, it's alright to sit down and let it all out. Whether you're a boy or a grown man doesn't change that. It's okay, Reen.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I promised I'd bring him back.
Dang, the guilt, man.
I promised I'd make him graduate with you, but I couldn't do it.
It's okay. You did everything you could.
Yeah, Toa's best girl.
You made sure he knew how we all felt. And you let
Lara
all of
is
us
best
know how he
playable
really felt
girl, but Toa is best girl.
too. So, don't get so worked up about it. Okay?
Dang, the guilt, man. Reen feels like he failed. He feels like he failed to deliver on his promise to return Crow back.
I'm sorry. I didn't want anyone to see me like that.
Well, I guess we're even then.
She was playable for like 5 minutes, and
Not
she was
like
fun
I
in
jump
those
for
5
joy
minutes.
every time you catch me sleeping.
God, why
Have you
do I
finished getting everything ready for the
I
next
want-
student council now, by the way?
I want a Toa emote.
Yep, my days of being president are almost done. The first years taking over are really smart, though.
Still,
If I ever
must
did
have
a
been hard work getting
smart-
through it all.
If I ever did like maybe not a smart emote.
You're going on a tour of various NGOs after graduation,
Smart might
right?
be Emma.
Yep, the plan's to take a year to visit NGOs in lots of different fields. Politics, economics, engineering, medicine. After that, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'll probably join either the army or something related to the government, I suppose.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'd both love to have you. There's no chance either one would say no to you.
She piloted the Courageous, for crying out loud. She's
Especially
a
since taking
veteran
a year
captain.
off hasn't made them any less determined to recruit you. After all you did with commanding the Courageous, it's no wonder you're so in demand.
I don't know. I don't think I did anything special, really. Still, I feel like it'd be best in the long run for me to see the world from a variety of different perspectives. I don't know what path I'll choose. but I want to step onto it with a firm decision on how things should
She got a
be.
cool gun.
I think that's the best thing I can do for this country's future. Maybe I'm being a little overdramatic there, though.
Not at all. After how much you've done for this academy, I can only imagine how much you could do for this country. Just try not to overwork yourself, okay? We're with you all the way, but we will always worry, you know?
Thanks. Anyway, all this means is that I'm only going to be serving as student council president until the end of tomorrow. After that, I'll be just like any other student until graduation day, so that's how you're going to have to treat me.
But how will you ever survive the rest of your school days without all that extra paperwork? All kidding aside, it's going to be lonely not seeing you at that desk every time I swing by, or missing out on the extra free day work. Maybe I could ask Prince Oliver to get me a President Toa plush doll for when I feel down. He mentioned Captain Toa once.
Oh my god, of course Oliver would. Oh my god, Oliver doesn't see swimmies.
I'm sure you'll be just fine.
I want a
You'll
President Toa
probably
plush
live
doll.
as a second year without student council stuff.
Give me your entire stock.
I mean, I think it's sweet that you'll miss me that much, but
I'm sure I'll be really busy too.
Nah.
Knowing I was helping you out meant it never felt tiring for me.
It's gonna be a Toa Funko Pop, let's be honest.
Still, if you aren't that opposed to the plush idea, maybe I really will ask him. Even if it won't beat the real thing.
anyway, moving off plushies, what was it that made you come here? I mean, I'm happy you did, but
Oh, I completely forgot. I just came to ask if there was anything I could do to help.
you've only just come back. And besides, tomorrow's your...
That's all the more reason I want to spend tomorrow's free day the same way I spent. It wouldn't feel like our final free...
Well...
Side quests.
Okay, I do have a few things in mind, so... And thanks for all...
Side quests. Man, we're just recapping this now. God, they're just coming up on like old things that happened. It's not a good sign. How much? It's not that I hate this, but how much are we gonna do this? Because if they're gonna do this like throughout the entire thing, I am going to just skip. If he starts saying, and then remember our first mission. Alright, good. Doesn't look like he's doing that. Sharon's gonna be there. Come on, let's be honest.
That won't be necessary.
You called that one. That's easy. That was a freebie.
Huh?
Sharon?
What reason could you possibly have for being here? The chairman gave me her permission to return to my former position as your dormitory's caretaker, which means I am here to serve you all once more. There may only be a short time left until the end of the year, but I'll make sure you want for nothing during it. I've already started preparing your evening meal, so there's no need to go out and buy anything.
Oh, well, how about...
I'm fine with this.
We will gladly accept you.
Sharon's cooking's better than whatever grub we could rustle up together anyway.
There's the classic Milliam XD face.
How do you manage to get permission from Mother in the first place, though? Weren't you helping to rebuild the Rhineford group? I thought the company was getting so many orders in, it was struggling to keep up.
Now that Master Gwyn has returned to the company, everything is back in order.
Oh!
He and the chairman have been speeding through one task after another since he got back.
Interesting. So Gwyn has rejoined Rhineford at this point.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I wonder if he's going to try to keep her in check.
So the former and current chairman make quite a team, I see.
Boy, I'm starving. Wouldn't mind a drink either. With the weather getting warmer, it's just about time for peak beer season. Huh?
Oh, why are you here?
It's a pleasure to see you too, Lady Sarah. I brought a bountiful supply of smoked oysters and sardines if you'd like a snack to accompany your beer. Would you like them alongside your dinner?
Damn it. Yes.
That's cute. It's like on one hand, you're Ouroboros, I'm a bracer.
In public like this.
Two.
Considering her affiliation.
Sarah's gotta still have good food and beer.
Guessing there's some sort of agreement in place between Rhineford and the government to leave her alone. Though, even if there weren't, I can't imagine anything would be able to stop Sharon from doing what she wants.
Yeah, you're not stopping her.
Whew. I think I might have eaten too much. She hasn't lost her touch. Well, that's all my work. Maybe I should go see how...
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break because my tailbone's hurting. But when we come back, we'll keep doing more of the epilogue and seeing all our friends and tying this up into eventually the part where everything goes to hell, because that's how these games are. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Got me another one of those root beer things.
Here's Crow's
old room.
I think I'll stay away from it for now. I feel more like going around and talking to everyone.
Dang.
Hey, Machias. Working hard or hard?
I'll stop you right there.
Working hard or hardly working?
Of course I'm hard at work. Just look at the size of this book. If I can't internalize as much of it as possible while I'm here, I'm doomed to failure from the start.
And this is one of your new textbooks? Man, Heimdall's political academies don't mess around, do they? You'll be the youngest person there, right?
Most likely. I'd normally need to have graduated from Thor's with a bit more experience under my belt to have gotten in. There are a few Thor's grads there already, though. They take some every year. And as you might imagine, the recent political upheaval has the place swarming with applicants this year. The entrance exam was hard enough on its own, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't say I envy you. Still, I know you're going to be just fine.
So are they graduating?
You're so smart that you can handle any subject they throw at you. Growing up with your dad should
How
give
do
you
they
a leg up
fast
on the
track to
politics,
graduate
too.
in 1 year?
Yeah, no pressure there. Honestly, there are times when I think diving into things head first like this is a giant mistake.
What's wrong?
It's weird to me.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just... I know we're probably going to both be really busy with our own lives come spring, but let's make time to have lunch together once in a while or something. Okay, studying is all well and good, but even I need a change of pace every now and again.
Aww.
I think that can be arranged. The train from here to Heimdall only takes a half hour. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't hang out sometimes.
Then it's a date.
Hey, Elliot.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on giving a few of them to the Academy before I go. Just to make sure next year's first years have something to practice with.
That's really generous, and sure to make a lot of people happy. And you'll finally be heading off to a music academy, just like you always wanted. I bet they'll push you pretty hard over there, too.
I don't doubt it. I'm going to need to be all music all the time if I want to stand a chance at keeping up. Though, to be honest, after all the time I've spent here, I don't really want my life to be completely about music. I love it, obviously, but to be a balanced person, I want to have a bit more variety in my life, like I had here at the Academy. For one thing, I don't want to get too rusty with my orbital staff.
Good to hear. I hope everything works out for you.
Thanks. Me too. No, it's nothing. Either way, Heimdall and Trista are really close, so don't be a stranger, okay? I know you're gonna have tons of work to get through between your classes and your missions, but...
Don't worry, I'll make time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to see each other.
So Rena's staying for classes,
There's
but
still a ton
everyone
of
else is
Heimdall I haven't seen,
graduating.
too. You'll have to show me around next time I make it over there.
You bet.
A-set, you bet.
Something on your mind, Eustace?
For the first time in a long time, looking over an endless sea of documents can be rather tiring on the eyes.
Oh, are those the tax reports you mentioned?
That's a lot of stuff.
Ordinarily, this would be my father's work, but His Majesty has yet to decide his fate. Rufus hasn't so much as glanced in Berea Hard's direction since he took his new job in Crossbell either. As such, the task falls to me.
Duke Eustace.
Man, I knew everyone in our class had it pretty rough right now. You've got it roughest, no contest.
If my ego had its way, I would boast that filling in for my father is a simple and mundane task. But on top of the paperwork, I'll need to manage the provincial army and oversee the province as a whole. Then there's the matter of keeping the most stubborn of the nobility in check. I don't expect the first 6 months to be
I
pleasant.
imagine, and I'll let Luigi give the yes or no on that one, but I imagine because of everything that happened,
months ahead
with
is
the
pretty
war
impressive as
and
it is.
With the war and everything,
Standing
like,
in
and
for
how,
Yuki
like, they're
operator
kind of
like that
heroes.
must take some real confidence.
That fast
much is
tracked them.
obvious.
What is it?
It's nothing. In the days to come, more people will be relying on you than ever before. But no matter who does so or what they ask, do not lose your pride as a noble. Act independently, your head held high. Maintain your pride and your autonomy. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
what I
you'll
kind of
find-
was assuming.
Thanks. I promise
I'll hold you to that.
Except for Reen. Reen, the hero, the actual hero, doesn't get fast tracked. Or he's taking advanced studies or something.
Are you finishing up your painting, guys?
Yeah, this is my last one. I want to make sure I'm completely satisfied with it before declaring it finished.
That's understandable. You're going to keep painting once you're back at home, though, right?
Well, I don't know how much time I'll have to set aside for it, but I intend to keep working on it, bit by bit. There's growing reason for concern in Calvert to the
That's
east
true.
of the Highlands. But all in all, things are more peaceful now than they were. I should be able to focus on painting my magnum opus.
Oh, is it going to be ignored? If anyone can make a masterpiece of the Highlands, it'd be you.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea. But actually, I was intending to paint a picture of the Academy, its students, and the courageous.
Dude, that's awesome. His other
Are you
home.
getting it? I want to capture the day we liberated the Academy. And once I've finished it, I fully intend to return to Erebonia with it in hand. What better way to forever memorialize this place as my second homeland?
Man, Gaius is such a good
You
guy.
really are amazing. Well, if you ever need reference materials, you know who to call. I can get pictures of anything you might need and send them over. I know you're talented, but that's a lot to paint off of just your memory.
Gaius is a bro.
Oh, good evening, Master Reen. I thought you had already retired for the evening. How would you like for me to put together some supper?
I appreciate the offer, but I think I've eaten more than I should have as it is. Your cooking really is delicious, Sharon. I was starting to miss it after not having it for so long.
It was my pleasure to cook for all of you again, so I pulled out all the stops with this one. Seeing all of you happily indulging my handiwork always makes every second of preparation worth it. Is something the matter, Master Reen?
Oh, I was just thinking about how you haven't changed a bit. I'm not sure it's my place to ask, but is everything all right over at Ouroboros? I can't help but wonder after how things turned out. Vita seems really shocked.
I'm afraid I haven't a clue. No word of what's been happening in the society has reached my
Interesting.
ears since then.
Interesting.
I have no idea where the second Anguis is now, nor do I know what happened regarding the Phantasmal Blaze plan after the Chancellor declared he was taking it over. And quite frankly, none of it is my concern. The answers won't change who I am, and it won't suddenly cause me to shift priorities.
God, Sharon's
I
great.
am and always will be a proud maid of the Rhineford family. Not because of the freedom we enforcers are granted, but because that is simply who I am. Much like how you being the Ashen Chevalier doesn't change how you are also a proud member of Class 7. And no matter what happens to you in the future, never lose sight of who you really are. It's almost time for me to return to Ruhr, but should you ever need me again, I will gladly rush to your side.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you can stay here for a while longer.
Sharon's awesome.
Oh, there you are. You look bored, Celine.
I guess I am. My work's done at this point. I feel like I aged a few decades as soon as the war came to an end. Feels a bit strange to be saying it after the fact, but you fought pretty well over in Crossbell. You've really mastered piloting Valimar.
I'd like to think so anyway. I feel like I could pull off just about anything with him now. And to think, I couldn't do half as much with him when I was first starting out.
You do realize you just admitted you were totally useless, right? I wonder if you're gonna be okay without us, you know? Valimar must have drawn the short straw to end up with a budding awakener like you.
Yeah, okay, so Emma and Selena going
Thanks
back
for
to
worrying
the
about
witches.
me all the time, Celine.
They're going back to the witches to kind of
Excuse
clean
me,
up
what makes you think I
Vita's
was worried
shit.
about you?
Just about everything. From what I can tell, you've always worried about me. Back in the beginning, when I didn't know anything about piloting, you were always there to guide me through our battles. I doubt I would have ever come this far if you didn't have my back. So, thank you. For all of it.
Why do you always have to be like this?
Give Celine head pats.
There are parts of the legends passed down in the clan that not even Emma and I know about. But just bear this one thing in mind. Divine Knights have incredible power, and they can become devils just as easily as they can become gods.
That's not something I want to hear.
Don't worry, I know. And I won't forget. Anyone in my position needs to know the difference between right and wrong. I'm well aware of that.
Goes back to the whole topical point about power and how power is not inherently good or evil. It's the people behind the power.
That's fine then. Anyway, good luck, I guess. If you really need it, I can always come and help out.
Emma?
Oh, hi there, Reen. Well, Dorothy and I decided that we're gonna put together one final collection of stories as a club. Since then, I've been working on a story for the students who will join the club next year.
Oh, that sounds neat. Wait, if Dorothy's involved...
The content is totally appropriate for children of all ages, I assure you.
Dorothy's writing smut. She's writing some smut.
Admittedly, Dorothy's own story sounds like it'll have a few of her favorite literary elements, but all in moderation, she assured.
Slash
I bet I'm one to
fiction.
judge. What kind of story are you writing?
It's supposed to be a fairy tale. I can't pretend it's 100% original, though. I borrowed some elements from a story.
There's gonna be some lore hidden in this if we get to hear
It's
it.
going to star a golden unicorn and a pure-hearted maiden. Or at least, that's the plan.
Sounds interesting. Can I give it a read when you're done? I'll still be here next year, so if I see any first years who seem like they'd enjoy it, I'll recommend it to them.
I have to confess, I'm a little
Golden
embarrassed
unicorn
to let
lore.
anyone see it. But the whole point of a story is to be read.
Something wrong?
No, I'm sure you and Valimar will be just fine without my help now. Still, if you do need anything, don't hesitate to get in touch. It may take some time to contact me, though. You'll need to use a method that isn't exactly conventional.
Yeah, I could have guessed. I mean, I theoretically get how to use runes to communicate since you told me, but I have no idea how it actually works.
I'd be shocked if you did. It's pretty far removed from the
Runes.
orbital technology you're used to. It has its benefits, though. For one, you'll be able to reach me no matter where I might be. So don't ever hesitate to drop me a line if you need my assistance. I'd always be happy to hear from you.
All right. I'm sure I'll give you a ring. Or a rune, I guess. I hope you end up being able to find Vita, too.
Thank you.
Alright, Laura, what are you doing? You going back home?
What are you looking at, Laura?
I'll show.
Aww.
Oh, you and Monica got a picture taken together? You both look so happy in it, too.
That we do. Someone in the photography club kindly offered to take it for us. I thought it would make a fine souvenir of my time at the academy to take away with
I mean,
me.
he was only gone for a month, though. That's the thing.
My mirror's on that being Rex. Oh well, it's a nice photo, and he got permission. For once. I never expected you and Monica would get so close.
Yeah, Reen was only gone for a month.
Between her and Fee, you kind
Which
of
is
have
like
a knack
still,
for
it's
becoming
a
the best of
decent chunk
friends
of
with the ones you
time,
bump
but...
Please don't say that. I'm truly grateful to both of them for broadening my horizons. Meeting them enriched my life in ways I could have never pictured before.
I also think it's partially because the RMP is going to want to keep tabs on Reen and
Truly,
and
coming to
Valimar.
this academy was one of the best decisions I've
So
ever
keeping
made.
them at the academy is kind of
I
a
didn't
good
realize
way
we
to
made
kind
such a
of
big
keep
impact on
Reen in check. And
Well, you
reward
did.
everyone else for
And
all of their
don't mind
service
me,
during
I'm just
the
feeling
war.
a little emotional. There's no harm in a few tears, I suppose. This will be my last time I can relax before my training, after all.
Yeah. You're not gonna get much rest in with the training you've got lined up.
I won't be learning the Arcade School's advanced techniques with training any less intense. I have no idea where we'll be conducting said training, but it will no doubt be as perilous as it will be dangerous.
I had to spend a month in the Isengard range as part of mine. I don't think a month's going to cut it with what you're doing, though. It goes way beyond your average techniques.
I mean, field studies only took 3 or 4 days, though.
Indeed. I'm anticipating that it will take at least half a year, if Father's going to be with me. But with things as difficult as they are, part of me feels guilty for taking up his time.
I don't think they were able to cram a
I
year's
think him
worth
agreeing
of
to train with
studying
you
into
shows
4
how
days.
much faith he has in your potential. Besides, in a lot of ways, this might be the best time to do it.
That is very true.
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. Regardless, I'd love to come and visit you should the opportunity present itself.
It is anime. It does. The plot armor is thick.
I'd like to formally request a duel with you to test how much the two of us have grown.
Let's not kid, but your invitation is all the motivation I need to get plenty of training in myself. Can't have you beating me too badly.
Lara smash. Lara murder Reen. Lara, you can murder me anytime you want. Oh, this is a good question. What's Fee gonna be doing?
Are those seeds you got there?
Yep, Adel gave them to me. They all came from the plants we grew in the gardening club.
Really? That's really nice of her. It's kind of like you can take everything you've achieved over the past year with you.
I wasn't even going to join a club until Adel found me relaxing and invited me. But I guess it wasn't so bad.
Head pats.
Don't you worry. I'll be sure to check on the gardening club every once in a while just to see how things are going.
Reen and the head
Shame if all the
pats.
plants
Sounds like
you've
a
spent
band
so
name.
long looking after were to wither and die.
It doesn't matter. Even if they do, they'll eventually bloom again somewhere else. Kind of like us.
When you put it that way, I suppose. What's wrong?
Nothing.
What are these?
They're the easiest ones to look after. You can try raising them if you want. When I found the others from Zephyr, I'll come back and check if they're still
Oh,
blooming.
okay. She's gonna look for the rest of Zephyr.
If they are, you get a pat on the head.
Hey, I thought the head rubbing was my job.
Don't call it head rubbing.
But I'll give it my best shot.
Reen, don't call it that, Reen. That sounds dirty.
Feeling sad about leaving the...
Yeah, I think it'll make for some wonderful memories to look back fondly on in the years to come.
She's
I
gonna
can
tell
imagine.
her mom and Gwyn with the company, I assume, rebuild.
Does that mean you're not going to keep up with lacrosse and Ruhr?
I don't think I'll be able to. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any local teams I could join. And even if there were, I doubt I'd have the time for sports. Just thinking about how busy I'll be makes my head spin. No, scratch that. Being busy is all the more reason I need to make time for exercise.
Yeah, good luck with that. Helping out with the Rhineford group sounds like a recipe for one all-nighter after another.
Not just yet, actually. I won't be helping until Grandfather shows me the ropes. As I am now, I doubt I'll be able to do much at all in the way of rebuilding the company. But you can bet I'll leave Mother speechless with how much progress I've made in a year's time.
I'm sure you can if you put your mind to it. And I know Sharon will always be willing to help you out if you need her.
She probably would, but then she'd just tell everything she did to Mother. Don't worry about it. I was just thinking about how blessed I am.
Hashtag blessed.
I've got a wonderful family, a great club I'm part of, all of you as my classmates.
Oh, right. It took me a long time to realize the same thing, too. We really are one and the same.
Yeah.
Lisa.
It's nothing, honestly. I'm just feeling a bit emotional all of a sudden. I don't know what's gotten into me. Nothing's wrong, though. I promise.
But...
Still, let's both make the most of our free day tomorrow. It's the last one we'll ever have as a class.
Yeah, let's make it a day to remember for both of us.
Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Milliam's gonna go back to the intelligence agency.
What's up, Milliam?
The intelligence division.
Oh, hey, Reen. It's nothing. I just feel kinda down.
Down?
Yeah. I was just thinking about how everyone was at dinner time. Sharon's food was really nice, and we all seemed like we were having a good time.
Oh, Milliam doesn't want to go.
But I don't know. It was weird, like we were all upset but didn't want to let it show.
Oh, so that's why. You really have grown so, and not just mentally. I think you...
Maybe. About 2 rage or so? Judging by my specs, I'm not gonna get much taller than this, though. I'm Mini Milliam forever and ever.
By my specs.
But you never know. Maybe I'll grow up to have boobies so big, I can use them as a shelf like Emma's.
God damn it, Milliam.
Something wrong?
Nah, not really. So, you've got a new mission starting next month, right?
Yep, I've got to go see how things are over out west. Duke Cayenne's been arrested, but it sounds like things are still pretty nuts over there. Oh, but guess what? I might get to go out to Laboral and Rimaferia soon.
Huh.
What is it with you and blabbing classified information? Well, whatever. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself.
Liberal and
Be sure to keep in
Rimaferia.
touch. I'll always be right there when you need me, okay?
Righto, I promise.
Interesting.
That goes double for you, mister. If you need me to bust you out of a jam, just say the word.
Oh. I forgot Sarah's room was here.
Something on your mind, instructor?
You could say that. I've been mulling over how things are going to be come next month, but all this soul searching's giving me a headache.
Well, it'll probably feel strange being back with the guild for the first time in 2 years.
Oh, Sarah's not going to be our instructor anymore. Who's going to be the instructor for Reem?
And I bet they'll be glad to have you back. Things are probably going to be rough over there, even with you taking up the bracer life again.
No doubts there. I can already see plenty of traveling abroad in my future after what happened over in Crossbow. And I imagine it'll keep getting harder and harder for us bracers to operate here, too. What's with that sad puppy look? There's no reason for you to feel ashamed of what you've chosen to do. I'm proud to have a student like you who can stand up and make the tough choices life thrusts on us.
I wonder where Sarah's going to go.
Thanks, instructor. I'll try to just grin and bear it for now.
She'll probably head to the Grand Branch with,
Attaboy. Sticking it out through the hard times with a smile will put you on the fast track to becoming a great man. Just make sure you don't try to shoulder too much. All that'll do is turn you into a jaded grump. Everything in moderation, okay?
I haven't joined the intelligence division, and I have no plans to. I'm gonna keep responding to their requests, but only if I'm comfortable doing what they're asking. And I can promise you, I'll never do anything that would put me in conflict with the guild or put innocents' lives at risk.
I hope you say that. Yeah,
I don't know what the
hope you're
future
right
will
on
bring
that.
for me, but that's the creed I want to stand by.
No matter what happens, you'll always be my student. So go out there, live your life, and grow into such a heartthrob that I won't be able to take my eyes
God,
off
Sarah.
you.
Well, I'll try.
Well, that's everybody. And now for the sad feelings.
You were all going to be in for some... I can't... But you can.
Crow's final words changed our path forever. No. It's more like they gave us the encouragement we needed to step onto the right one. We only get one life. Thanks, Crow. I might not be leaving the academy to pursue some noble goal like the others are. Although, if I have to keep taking time off for trips like that one to Crossbell,
Yeah,
I
right?
can kiss my attendance goodbye.
You can't just be leaving school for months on end.
Well, I can try to make it so I'll never be in danger of repeating a year. Unlike a certain someone.
man. Uh-oh. It's not gonna be Aubin time, my dude.
In finance, the annexation of Crossbell, and despite the Rhineford Group announcing sweeping...
It's time for the start of a brand new program here. I call it Aubin time after the word for evening. Might be a little cliched, but sometimes simple is best, right? Anyway, my name is Misty, and I'll be your host.
This is you, isn't it, Rain?
Oh, what's up, Elise?
Yes, sorry for... I'm not bothering you, am I? Yes, I wasn't going to, but Her Highness insisted.
Of course she
It'll
did.
take some getting used to, but it's nice to be able to hear your voice even when you're so far away. I didn't have any specific reason for calling. It was just that the letter you sent about your return from Crossbell arrived today. Oh, please don't apologize. Believe me, I was just happy to hear you were back safe and sound. By the sound of things, you did an No, not at all. Regardless, now that I've heard your voice, I feel... Oh, there's no need for that. Good night, Rain. Sweet dreams.
Huh. There's certainly not something there that's, you know, foreshadowing or worrisome. Surely not. Everything is fine. Happy ending. Five separate quests. Towns. We are doing side quests in the epilogue. Pawn shop. Is that the last recipe? Yeah, that's the last recipe. We got all the recipes. Oh, that's a really good item.
Okay, let's give this a try. Wow, people can...
You know, this would have really come in handy a lot earlier. There's so much empty alcohol in here. Oh, we got everything from here. I wonder if his brother's the same guy from Lake Lord that was in Crossbell, or if that's their dad. I can't remember. This certainly looks like the guy from Crossbell. Yeah. Yeah, these are the guys that are in Crossbell. We gotta catch the giant swordtail. God, you give me a lot of ground meat.
That's a catch.
Marijuana. Deal for catching large fish. What I want to use. Got it. Noble card. Oh. Interesting. The noble carp was a harder thing to catch than the giant swordtail was. Yeah, he's going back to Crossbell. What a weird family. The Lake Lords are weird. Also, this epilogue is weird. This epilogue definitely feels weird. Oh, and of course, now I can get the good stuff. What's next? Upper class homes? Academy Funky. Oh, well that's cool. Is that the entire thing of Cornelia collection? Oh man, I can't read them? Ah, I was hoping you could read them. Disappointed. Alright, Monica. Main building. Okay. Next pawn shop. Paper mache Mishi. Nice. Okay. So that's all the side quests that are like optional. Oh, Nightheart has a thing for us to do. Nightheart kind of has a feeling. Oh. Let's get sweaty. The return of the swimming lesson. Doing the swimming thing again. I mean, I gotta go get to the best. Only the best of the best. So you remember this mini game, right? Yeah, I remember this mini game. Still not okay. I never got the rhythm of this thing down. Uh-oh. Team battle. We're back on that melee method. Jeez. I mean, come on. Come on. Where'd Mario go? Wow. They really made that camera slow. God'll pop up and kill me! And we gotta beat the best of the best, right? She's the swimmer. No. I bombed that one. That was bad. That was really bad. I still came in second on that one. Yeah, I hit the speed down too much. Okay, that was so close. I thought I almost failed that one that time. Wow. Don't let Million decide. Jeez, Nightheart, what the heck? That is pure. Plain and simple, it's just pure Millium innocence. And, of course, Reen touching women where they shouldn't be touching them. Why are we getting 8? This is so weird for Epilogue. Not even close to getting the top ranking. Let's do the engineering building first. Now we do the racing thing from earlier in the game. Alright, Reen's on his bike. Dang, she's fast. Oh, wait, I got confused. Alright. We have to, like, cut. We can't just follow the road. She'll outspeed us every time. Had to cut her off. She follows the rules too well. Dang. Pouring one out for the homie that's gone. That's sad. Nice. Orbital bikes will be a thing in the future. Lightning belt. Nice. Lightning belt, though. A lot of this just feels like it's New Game Plus stuff. Here's a bunch of good items for when you do New Game Plus. That screams, please, put it on me. Let's make Lara even more of a murderer. Speaking of murder, let's go murder Patrick. I mean, we know who our partner is, right? Laura. Yeah, we're gonna murder them.
My turn.
Oh, they have no HP. Okay, this is over.
Let's move.
Yep.
You still have a lot of training to do.
Easy. Get Lara back in the uniform. Uh-oh. The Ferris. Yep. Oh god, we have to fight the whole squad now. I mean, B. Is it gonna go? Alright. They're still gonna fall to my blade. Shall fall by my blade.
My turn.
My turn.
Yeah.
Here, win it.
We should keep going.
Man, just murder.
I've only just begun.
Lars. Oh my god. We have to call a fourth. Oh shit. Are we gonna fight the principal? Oh my god. We're gonna fight the principal. And Beatrix. Oh god! I was not expecting this. God, please save us, Emma. This feels ridiculous.
Let's move.
Nah, that's a lot of HP. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, of course. Ooh, that's not good.
Okay.
None of that is good. None of that is good at all.
That's pretty good.
Okay. I'll handle it.
Delicious.
Okay. Not bad.
Oh, that's not good.
Let's move. Burn to...
Okay. Now. This isn't looking good. Here I go!
Overdrive!
Okay.
My turn.
Thanks.
Thank you. Here I go. How about this? Here's our chance.
An opening.
Alright, if I can take Beatrix out, we might be good. Okay, Beatrix is out.
My turn.
It's fine.
I'll handle it.
That's not fine.
Okay.
My turn.
Too slow. Now. Here I go.
Delish. My turn. Hey! Now's our chance.
Okay.
Let's move.
Too slow. Now. Let me.
You have my thanks.
handle it. Here I go!
Onward! Sia! They're off guard! Our time!
Alright, we got him. We beat the principal and we beat the medicine woman.
I did it! Not bad. I'm so...
My goodness. Ooh. Nice. Albion Guard. Albion Guard. Albion Guard. So close to 7. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Uh-oh.
You have also sensed the disturbance at the zoo. Indeed, there was movement within the Earth phase, but not solely that. I have sensed...
Telling you, this is not good. Not good. The old schoolhouse?
Correct. The structure beneath which I once lay dormant.
Huh.
Known to you and your friends.
Huh. That's not good. Alright. Can I get a quick check on how much time I probably have left in the game?
Wow! That must have been tough.
Because this seems like a good stopping point before the end of the game. Before, like, the end of Epilogue. You know what I'm saying? And then we make tomorrow finale and watch the Lord video.
I can't. Valimar said he sensed.
Aha, there you are.
Yo, it's Toval. Why is
Toval? Long time no see.
Yeah,
Toval,
tell
are
me
you gonna
about it.
betray me?
What brings you here? You need me for something?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm just in Trista for work I need Sarah and Mick for, you see?
Alright.
Figured while I was here, I might as well come and see how things have been with you.
I have a feeling I'm not trusting Toval right now.
Then I saw you walking off over here, and it seemed like the perfect time to catch up and say hey, so, you know, here I am.
Toval's the one who found us in the beginning of the game. And then Toval... this seems too perfect timing.
This is that old building Valimar used to be sealed away in, huh? Sarah's the one
I'm
who
not
told me
trusting
all about
Toval.
it, but she wasn't lying about how creepy it is.
I don't trust anybody.
Weird air about it. Why are you hanging around here?
Well, I thought there was, actually, it looks like it was just my imagination, so don't worry about it.
Okay?
Still, by the sound of it, the guild, is your workload lightened up at all?
It's relatively peaceful right now, yeah. It won't last, though. If anything, it's only going to get worse.
I'm sure.
Thanks to Crossbell being annexed before a full-on war could break out, things have on the surface calmed down. That's partly thanks to you, too. The only problem is, now there's no power out there at home or abroad capable of stopping him. And by him, I mean our friend the Blood and Iron Chancellor, of course.
Faja.
It's nothing. The only people who know the truth about me and him are the ones who were there that day.
Oh!
Still, I wouldn't be surprised if Prince Olivert and Viscount
They
Arcee
probably
have worked
did.
it out already.
Did they tell Toval?
How much should I tell him?
Don't worry, Rean.
About what?
Sarah's told me no more about what went down in that castle than she feels I need to know. I'm not privy to any details involving your friend's death or your private business. I can't pretend I haven't managed to fill in a few gaps just from putting 2 and 2 together, though.
Sorry. I've just got a lot of
Oh, I don't doubt it. I guess... Hey, Rean, I know I've asked you this before, but... you sure you wouldn't consider becoming a bracer? I really do think you'd be a natural. That you've got the physical strength goes without saying, but I think your mindset is right up our alley, too. The guild might be kinda limited in what it can do here in Erebonia, but we do work all over the continent. I'm not saying leave everything behind and run, but it'd be a good chance to look within yourself and think things through.
I do have a feeling that by the end of this arc, maybe not by, like, the end of CS3, but at some point in time of Rean's journey, he will come to become a bracer. He has the mindset for it.
That is true. But I'm afraid I'll have to decline. It certainly seems to be a wonderful profession, judging by the work that you and Instructor Sarah do.
Not to mention, a lot of people who practice the 8 leaves 1 blade style become bracers. And 2 of them are, well, one that used to be, but that's now in the library of the military, are divine blades.
But I feel like I should see the path I've chosen through to the end.
Well, if that's what you want. That's a real shame, though. Here was me thinking I'd be able to bring a promising rookie into the fold, too. No big. We'll see if you change your mind come...
Oh, there he is!
Huh.
Elise!
Wow. What did we do to deserve this honor?
Everyone's kind of showing up at too opportunistic of a time.
Rean, Toval, it's one...
Moving right past that.
Well, when I spoke to you yesterday, you sounded a little despondent, which is what prompted me to tell her if she was that...
I can see why Elise would come here, but I'm surprised you decided to accompany her.
You've got to be 2 of the most fearless young ladies in Erebonia. Although with the 3rd most fearless young lady in Erebonia as an escort.
I'm honored you would say so. It's good to see you again, Toval.
Like what? We're not exactly on the same side these days, but there's no need to let that stop us from being friendly off the clock.
I'd like nothing more, honestly. Oh,
if anything, I'm the one who's putting you out. I seem to be the reason they came here, after all.
I never once thought you were putting me out, so I did wonder whether it might be best to stay out of your sight, truth be told.
Please, don't think like that. I was the one at fault, not you.
It's awkward.
I really am sorry, though.
Not at all. If I'm truly...
They have no idea what's going
It
on.
looks like another formidable foe.
Oh my god.
Green, I swear.
Heckin'
you're a damn magnet for
heckin'
trouble when
awesome.
it comes to women.
Well, this sure is an odd place for everyone to be hanging out in the middle of the day.
Oh, hey, Celine.
What are you
Celine! You're I thought something felt odd over here.
Oh, I...
Forgot
Is something...
Oh yeah, you...
Yeah, I sent...
Uh-oh.
Huh?
How?
Is that the old schoolhouse's bell?
That's not good.
Wait, didn't Sarah say that the last time this rang...
Uh-oh. Why is it glowing again? Again?
Glowing?
Again.
Celine, this is just like before.
We're doing this again.
Yeah, this is obviously serious. Unlike the last time, however, there doesn't appear...
Again.
What in the world?
This old schoolhouse needs to be demolished.
It's just like the first night of the festival.
Green, what's happening here? Wait, Elise?
Whoa! What's going... Do my eyes deceive me? Are all 3 of the fabulous 15s here in one place?
Oh my god, Angelica is so thirsty right now.
Way to keep your priorities in check, Angie.
What's happening?
Don't ask me. Green?
I think we all...
Oh, there's a lot of us entering this place. We have to go through another dungeon? Also, this is a long cutscene. Excuse me? Reverie corridor? This doesn't seem good. Man, I'm getting third vibes from this part.
This doesn't look anything like the inside of the old schoolhouse.
It's changed form many times in the past. But at this point, it no longer even feels like we're inside a building.
The strange rumors about this place were around even when I was a student.
When was the last time it changed?
A while ago. The last time anything this extreme happened was...
Still, that was underground, right?
Yeah.
There's no sign of that door with the elevator inside either.
It's like all someone did was snap their fingers and...
I tried, but even my
Nothing feels particularly
Huh.
off to me.
Well, if you two can't work in...
But we can't exactly just leave and pretend.
Oh.
Gonna try and see if Valimar knows anything?
Yeah. Heed my...
Valimar, the Ashen Knight!
Hi, Valmar.
Goodness.
You know how to do spatial translocation with him?
Valimar, do you understand anything
Why
about the
does
situation
Toll
we're
know
in?
about spatial translocation? And how to call that a word?
We witches only know half the secrets concerning the Divine Knights.
But you're one yourself.
What I can confirm is that this place was created by the gnomes.
Okay, the gnomes.
Gnomes? Weren't they also responsible for building the spirit shrines we
And
visited?
Yeah.
Indeed. They're said to have worked with the Hexen clan's ancestors 1,200 years ago in order to accomplish something.
1,200 years ago? Isn't that around the same time as the Great Collapse?
That is correct. Some of their finest technology is gathered in this place. The creation
Yeah.
of large-scale phase space. The expansion of flexible materials. As well as the development of the trial.
Like the trial all of it.
And presumably, the same ones drive...
It must be. Crow was supposed to... Tell us everything that... Why did the gnomes make a place? Why seal away the Divine Knight? What's happening here right now?
I have lost the knowledge with which to answer your questions.
Of course you have.
However, the key to all is known as the Great One. The first to be born, and the last to stand.
That doesn't sound very good.
The Great One, huh?
I'm assuming that relates to the Great Power?
The first to be born, and the last to stand.
Sounds like God. When the last shall be first and the first
I
shall be
feel
last.
as though I've heard those words before.
I'm sure it would mean something to...
Furthermore, the entity you fought during the jet lag is none other than the shadow of the Great One.
Oh. That thing was the shadow of the Great One.
That huge thing?
Still, if what happened here before is what's happening now a trial as well?
Most likely so. However, this is not an official trial you were intended to complete. I suspect some disturbance triggered the activation of a different trial.
Let me get this straight.
We've gotten
truth of
ourselves
what
wrapped
happened
up in
during the
something
Great
that's
Collapse.
truly out of this world, haven't we? Wait, you...
Dungeon.
You're gonna try and...
Yes. It might sound strange, but...
And by coincidence...
I think we can all agree...
We'll be sure to do so by the...
I doubt it will compare to the trials we faced in that infernal cap.
I do believe we should be acting with a...
Well, if you all insist.
We will?
It would certainly make our...
You guys right. Yeah, you're all...
Oh, hey, Sharon. Oh, hey, this is the part of the game where every character that was
Sharon?
kind of playable is
How
now
long have you-
here, so that we can play with them.
Can you maybe stop doing the thing with the skulking around in the shadows and popping out at the last minute?
Oh, Lady Sarah, I did nothing of... What? Right, this time, I'll be...
Yup.
This is our final... We want to make it...
I'll stay here and back you guys.
Thanks.
They're gonna join too.
Well, if everyone else is joining in on the fun... The two of us would like to assist...
This is the, hey, were they playable for 5 seconds in your party? Well,
Your
now you
Highness,
can get
I'm
a
not
last
sure.
chance with them.
Please don't try this academy, and as a member of the... And besides, I just so happen to...
That looks like...
The noble staff?
Hold on a minute. Isn't that the Epstein Foundation?
The Epstein found...
Weren't their staves the original model?
Yes.
And it's been adjusted especially... A member of the Arner family using a special... Yeah, I can see her being a... Naturally. And I'm afraid that not...
But
You're fine.
if you're so worried about...
Alright. Class 7, and everyone else kind enough to aid us?
This is like
Our mission
almost
is to
like...
investigate and resolve the strange situation here.
Are there more characters here than there were at the end of
This is
third?
our Class 7's final... So let's give it...
Right!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This has to be more characters that you can select than at any point in third. I don't think there were 17 total characters in third. I mean, either way, we're not changing the party. We're still going with the classic. But now we're bringing Toa along. Yeah. Did we just become procedurally generated persona? What the fuck? What? beats it by 2. This feels really weird. You can tell. She's gotta wear the hat. I never did Koa's casuals until now. Oh my god, that's an adorable dress. Alright. Alright, that's it. We're gonna call it there. We're gonna call it there. And tomorrow will be the finale. Final day. We'll clear out the dungeon. We'll see the end. And then we'll watch the lore video of the Black Records, and then we'll watch either the intro or the trailer to Cold Steel 3. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the finale of Cold Steel 2.